Imagine someone opens a briefcase in front of you. Inside, a title, a seal, a nameplate with your name already crossed out. The message is clear. Everything you built, everything you held, everything you were, it can be taken. It can be reassigned. It can be bought, shuffled, and handed to someone else. That's exactly what one of the most powerful men in the world believed about the Federal Reserve. So why didn't it work? For over a year, the pressure was relentless. Public insults, the nickname Mr. Too Late, posts calling for his removal, legal challenges designed not to win in court but to make staying feel not worth it. The message wasn't subtle. The message was, you serve at our pleasure, leave now or we will make every day here a war. And it wasn't just words. There were subpoenas. There were investigations. There were carefully placed stories in the press about replacements already being considered. A man named Kevin Warsh waiting quietly in the wings. The strategy was simple. Make the seat feel so uncomfortable that the person sitting in it chooses to stand up and walk away. He didn't walk away. And the reason why is something almost nobody talked about. Here is the thing most people don't know. Jerome Powell doesn't have one job at the Federal Reserve. He has two. The first is the chairmanship, the role everyone talks about, the public face. The interest rate decisions, the press conferences, that term ends in May 2026. And yes, a president can choose not to renew it. That part the White House wins. But the second role is the governorship. A quieter seat, a longer seat, a seat that runs all the way to January 2028, and a governor of the Federal Reserve cannot simply be removed by a president. The law doesn't allow it. It never did. So when the chairmanship expired, Powell didn't leave the building. He walked to a different desk. And suddenly, the empty slot in that briefcase made sense. The one thing they couldn't put in there, the one thing that couldn't be bought, threatened, or reassigned, was that governor's seat. This isn't the first time this quiet move protected the institution. In 1948, a man named Marriner Eccles was stripped of his Federal Reserve chairmanship by a president who wanted someone more cooperative. Eccles refused to leave. He stayed on as governor for 3 more years, a constant, inconvenient reminder that the institution had rules the presidency could not override. Nobody remembers Marriner Eccles, but every economist who has spent time studying central bank independence knows that name. Because what he did then and what Powell did now is the same thing. It isn't rebellion. It isn't ego. It is an institution using its own architecture to protect itself from the outside. You might be thinking, why does any of this affect me? Because the Federal Reserve sets the interest rate on your mortgage, your car loan, your credit card, your business. When that institution makes decisions based on economic data, your financial life is more stable. When it makes decisions based on who is calling from the White House, it isn't. The person sitting in that governor's seat right now is the difference between those two realities. Go back to that briefcase. The title is in there. The seal, the nameplate, all the symbols of power that can be handed from one person to the next. Every president since the Federal Reserve was created has believed at some point that what's inside that briefcase is everything. But someone who understood the fine print knew better. The one thing that wasn't in the briefcase, the one slot that stayed empty, was the seat that couldn't be touched. And the beautiful part is that it wasn't protected by a speech or a lawsuit or a press conference. It was protected by a line in a law that barely anyone had read in 70 years. Some things were quietly built to survive exactly this. The most durable power in the world isn't the kind that fits inside a briefcase. If that stayed with you, subscribe. There's more of this kind of story here.